Hi Year 3, so today is Friday and it's the last lesson of our recap of multiplication. So even though this week we have been recapping all of the things that we learnt when we were doing multiplication in school, today's lesson is slightly different and you are going to be learning a new method to use when multiplying 2-digit and 1-digit numbers, okay? And that method is column multiplication. It's quite similar to column addition and subtraction, but you must remember today that we are multiplying, we are not adding. It is set out in a similar way to column addition, okay? Obviously I'm going to talk you through it all shortly. I hope you have enjoyed recapping multiplication and keep practicing your times tables. Because it's really important that you develop your speed recall. But today's lesson focus is column multiplication. So it's a new method and hopefully you enjoy it and hopefully you can use it when you are multiplying 2-digit and 1-digit numbers together. Okay, so our learning objective today is I can use the column method to multiply 1- and 2-digit numbers. Now, like I just said, this is the column method for multiplication, not addition or subtraction. So you must try and remember that we are multiplying today. We are not adding up the numbers. So here you can see an example of how we set out the column method, okay? So we've got our tens and our ones, just like we do for column addition and column subtraction. We must make sure we put our multiply symbol down so that we know we are multiplying, not adding, and then we put the number that we are multiplying below in the ones column, okay, because we are just multiplying a 1-digit number, not a 2-digit number, so therefore it must go in the ones column. Okay, and then this is really important, don't forget to carry the tens or the hundreds into the next column, just like we do with column addition, but I will explain that a bit more as we go on. Okay, so here is our first one. So like the last slide, this is how we set it out. So we've got 32 times 3. And here I'm just showing you that it's 3 groups of 32. Okay, that's all we're trying to find out. Okay, so 3 groups of 32. So let's have a think about how we might do this. So first of all, here are our tens and here are our ones. So we are going to multiply. Which do you think we're going to multiply first? Do you think we're going to start in the tens column or do you think we're going to start in the ones column? Think back to what we know about column addition. We always start in the ones column, don't we? In case we need to regroup. So 2 times 3, we know that, that's an easy one, that's 6. There are no, it's only a 1-digit number, so we don't need to carry anything down into the tens column, okay, because that's still a 1-digit number. So that can stay as where it is. And then we've got 3 times 3, which is 9. So we are going to put that in our tens column. And then our answer is 96. And you can check that against this grid if you want to. Count them all up, see if we've got the right answer. 2, 4, 6, and then we've got 30, 60, 90, so we've got 96. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Right, so we have got 54 times 4. Again, that's 4 groups of 52. So think about how we set it out in our tens and ones column. So here's our tens and here are our ones. We've got 52 times 4. So the first step is multiplying the ones. So we have to multiply 4 by 2. So 4 times 2 we know is 8. And then we times 5 and 4 together. So we're going across along here, okay? So first of all we go up in the ones and then we go across into the tens. So 5 times 4 is 20. Now, we're going to put our place value holder, our 0, there, and we're going to carry the 20 into what will become the hundreds column, okay? Don't just put 2 here, okay, because it's 20, isn't it? 5 times 4 is 20, it's not 2. So it's really important we've got the 0, okay? So 52 times 4 is 208. If you've got a 2-digit number, remember to carry it into the next column. Right, so now we have 43 times 4. I'd like you to pause the video if you feel confident to have a go at doing this one on your own. If not, we can do it together. If you want to pause it now and then come back and check to see if you've got it right. Okay, so we've set it out correctly into our 10s and into our 1s. First step, we are going to multiply 4 and 3 together. Now, this is going to give us a 2-digit number, isn't it? This is going to give us 12. So we're not going to write 12 like that, okay? Just like our column addition, we must carry the 10 into the 10s column. We can't have 12 in a 1s column. So we're going to put our 1 there, so 2, that's our 1s in 12, and then we're carrying the 10 underneath this column into our 10s column, okay? So we must remember to add on this 10 to the next step. So now we are going to multiply 4 and 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So remember, just like the last one, we are going to put our 6 here, and then our 1 goes into our hundreds column, okay? But don't forget this little one here. So this doesn't become 6 anymore, it becomes 7. So our answer is 172, okay? Because we had to add this 10 onto it, and yeah, that makes it 172, okay? So let's have a look at this question then. Jacob and Julia have solved the following multiplications. 30 times 3, Jacob thinks is 90, and 31 times 2, Julia thinks is 53. We need to know if they are both correct, and we need to explain how we know. So I'd just like you to pause the video now, have a look at these two calculations, and maybe figure them out yourself, work them out yourself to decide if they have calculated the right answer. Let's pause the video and then come back and we can discuss it together. Okay, so let's start with Jacob. So 3 groups of 0 is 0, isn't it? Okay, 3 times 0 is 0, so that is correct. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So Jacob has got this right. 3 groups of 30 is 90, yeah? We know that 2 groups is 60 and 1 more group is 90. Okay, so then we've got Julia. What do we think Julia has done? So she has said 2 times 1 is 3 and 2 times 3 is 5. I'm not sure she's right. I think what she might have done is thought that she was doing column addition and she has added them, hasn't she? 1 and 2 is 3, and then she's added 3 and 2 together instead of multiplying them, okay? So remember, we are multiplying. I think some of you might forget we're multiplying today and do this, okay, because we're used to column addition. So make sure you put the symbol there to remind you that we are timesing today. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. Alex's teacher asks him to find the mistake so that he can correct it. Find and explain the mistake to help Alex. So I'd like you to pause the video again, see if you can work this one out on your own, and then once you've done it, come back and we can talk it through. Okay, so he set it out correctly. He set out his 10s and his 1s, and he's put his times symbol there. So he started with his 1s, which is correct. That's what we need to do. 4 times 4 is 16. Good. He's put his 1 in his 1s in there. He's put his 6 there, and he's carried his 10 down into the 10 column. So far, he's right. Now he's done 4 times 3, which is 12. That is correct. But what has he forgot to do? He has forgotten this 10 down here. He's forgotten to add that on. So the answer should be 136, not 126. He's forgotten to add this 10 down here. Okay, so on to today's worksheets. So if you've printed off your sheets, you can use the back of your sheet to solve them. If you haven't printed them off, then you can do it into your workbook or onto a piece of paper. So you've got 4 calculations here which you need to solve: 32 times 3, 42 times 2, etc. Remember to set it out in the way that I have shown you today. And then you've got a couple of word problems. Again, we are still using the column method for multiplication today, so you will need to use that method for these 2 questions. So a snooker table has 21 balls on it. How many balls would there be on 3 snooker tables? So think about what you need to do with those numbers. You've got 2 twist-its to do today. You need to explain and correct the mistake here. Okay, I'm not going to talk through it with you because I want you to do that on your own. So there is a mistake and you need to spot it, and you need to say where this person has gone wrong and what the answer should be. And then you need to create and solve the calculation using these digit cards. So you've got a 2, a 6 and a 3. There needs to be a 2 and a 6 and a 3 in one of these boxes, okay? So your answer must have one of these numbers in. This will help you. You know that 3 times something is going to be 6. So look at the numbers that you've got. Think about how you can make 6 out of these numbers. 3 times what makes 6? That will get you started, and then you've just got 2 more numbers to play around with, okay? And today there are 3 solve-its. Remember, you do not have to do all of the solve-its. If you want to challenge yourself, then you can. So the first one is an always, sometimes and never. I want you to prove your answer with some examples. This is quite a fun one. You'll need to play around with the numbers a bit. You need to see how close you can get to 100 using these numbers. So you'll need to do a 2-digit times by a 1-digit to do that. And then this last one, again, you'll need to play around with the numbers. You are doing a 2-digit multiplied by a 1-digit, and your answer must equal 136. So what I suggest you do is start off thinking about how you're going to get your number to end in 6. Which multiples would work so that your 1 would be a 6? That's a good way to start. If you start off straight away and you multiply your 2 numbers together and it gives you 2, for example, you know that it's not going to be correct because it must end in a 6. Okay, and here are the 3 and 4 times table for you to copy down if you wish. You might have some of these lying around at home because you might not know these ones off by heart. So this is just here to help you with today's maths. Okay, I hope you find today's lesson all right and you are enjoying this new method. Obviously, the grid method is still a very useful method to use. This is just another one, and if you prefer to use this one, then obviously you can use this method whenever we are doing multiplication, okay? So I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week.